Hi, Crafty Patty here. We've made the frame, we made the tools, and now we're ready to warp our loom. Stay tuned and we'll get right to it. On my first weaving video for you, I showed you how to make a frame loom. And on the second video, I showed you how you can make some inexpensive, fun little weaving tools, the shed and the weaving shuttle. On this video, we're going to start with showing you how to put the warp on your loom now. So let's get started. I have this yarn already from Loops and Threads Snuggly Wuggly. It's actually baby yarn. And it is actually a weight, a light 3. This is what I'm going to use for my warp threads. I chose white because these are the colors I'm going to be working with. And if you want your warp thread not to show as much in your design, then choose a thread or yarn that is the majority of the color of your weaving. So if you don't have any yarn at home and you do have to go and buy it and you're thinking, well, how much should I buy? I made this loom so I could make a larger weaving or a smaller weaving. So I'm going to actually start from this nail to this nail. To make it easier so you know where you're going to stop and start with your warp, I have counted in for this particular loom 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on my outside row. And on this side I've counted in on the inside nails 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And again, placed a little scrap piece of yarn and do the same on the other side. Now that you know your starting point, you have it marked, so you can take your warp yarn and make sure you've got on the peg you want, slip off your little guide, and you're just going to tie a basic knot. Now bring your yarn up to your other end, slip off your guide, and bring your yarn over that nail. You're wanting a fair bit of tension, so just give it a little bit of a pull, and now we're going to bring that down to the other end again. When we get to this end, you're going to bring it over your outside nail, wrap it around, bring it up to the other end, and now the outside nail again. Bring it back down, and now we're coming back to the inside nail. Continue in that pattern, wrapping the inside nail, the outside nail back to the inside, going back and forth the whole way. To keep your yarn nice and tight, use your finger to hold down when you bring it up to your next nail. Apply pressure, wrap it around the nail, and then you'll keep your nice tension. And here's a little tip for you. If you want to prevent your frame from moving while you're adding your warp threads, you can apply just a piece of easy liner, and it grips to your table and it helps to hold it in place. And that's what I've done. I had this on hand, so it's working really well. So that's a select easy liner, and you can see sometimes people use it for trays or RVs. Kind of a plastic feeling, and it's got a little bit of a tackiness to it, and it'll hold your frame in place. Now I don't know if you can tell or not, but this is the tension that you're wanting. So it's like almost bouncy when you could almost hear like a bit of a drum sound if you tapped on it. And you've got a bit of tension, So you're not really loose, but not so tight that you can't lift them. That's what we're after. You try to keep the same amount of tension every time you do your next wrapping, then you'll be much happier with the way it feels. That was my last wrap on the inside nail, and here's my last one I'm going to do. So I'll just slip off my guide, and I know that's my last one on this end. Okay, to fasten off, I'm just going to make a little loop in the wool, like so. Place it over the nail. And pull that tight, so keep the tension. I'll do that one more time. So I'm just going to make a loop like so, bring it over the nail, and pull that tight. That's just going to secure it for now. We'll just cut off the end here. So I'm happy with the tension, but if you're thinking that there's some that are just a little bit looser, then the best thing to do is to go back and just go around and tighten every one of them. So I know it takes time, but it's worth it in the end. So you just bring this one up, and you're going to pull down on this one. Take the next one and pull up on it. Take the next one and pull down on it. Next one is up and down. And continue along each one, up and down, up and down. You can see that the yarn is moving a little bit, so it's evening out the tension. You know, if you're going down on one, you're also going to take the next one and you're going to pull up, and then you're going to pull down. Up and pull down. So here's what I'm just pulling down on. So I know that my next one to the left side of that nail, I'm going to pull up, and on the right side of it, I'm always pulling down. Just keep them pushed down on the nails there. You can see how much more the yarn is moving along now. So even though I thought that the tension was pretty good, there was still some room for improvement. I'm just bringing down my last strand, so I'll just slip that off your nail again and keep the tension on that last strand. And again, if you can just make a loop like so, bring it over the nail, tighten it up, hold on to it, make another loop, bring it over the nail, tighten it up, and then just come in one more time with a basic knot, just to make sure it's a good tight knot. And I'm just going to tie it off on the next nail. Make sure it doesn't slip away on us. And then you can just come in and make sure all your yarn is pushed down to the bottom. So your warp is now finished and you're ready for weaving. Your tension should be great. You should have a little bit of a bounce to it. And now we'll be ready to weave with your favorite yarns and make that beautiful log hanging. So stay tuned and watch the next video for how to now do your weaving.